And then to kind of lead us out, we got some Vanpool Alliance housekeeping, general Q&A. Then we can call it a night and be on our merry way. So without further ado, Stacy, the floor is yours.
Great, thank you. And hello, everybody. Thanks for giving us some time on the agenda today to talk about some new programs and existing programs. I will turn off my camera and share my screen. You should all be able to see that. All right, hello. So yes, I'm Stacy King. I manage the commuter programs here at Commuter Connections for the DC region and even into Baltimore. And so Ben asked me to talk about a new Vanpool program that we are administering. Vanpooling has grown in Maryland to now include the Baltimore region in terms of subsidy programs. So it's a great opportunity to let you all know that there's a new program now that is funded by the Maryland Department of Transportation and launched earlier this year to promote vanpooling to the Baltimore region. This is a result of the Key Bridge collapse and sort of all the traffic congestion and difficulties and things that have come about and are sustained as part of that. So this program is in play now, and it offers a $500 monthly subsidy for the length of the lease for vanpools that are commuting to the Baltimore region. So that's Anne Arundel County, Baltimore City, Baltimore County, Carroll County, Harford County, Howard County, and even Queen Anne's County. They are sort of grouped in with the Baltimore region, the greater Baltimore region. So those are the destinations. The origins, vans can begin in Maryland, DC, West Virginia, Pennsylvania, or Delaware. If there are additional origins, they may be approved. Like we have a few right now that are coming from New Jersey. If they qualify for Vanpool Alliance, then they belong in the Vanpool Alliance program. But other potential origins, that can be evaluated and determined. But this is generally the set rules for the Baltimore Commutes Vanpool program. This subsidy covers new or existing vans, and they should be commuting at least 2 days a week. There's also a requirement to meet monthly occupancy, reporting, and survey requirements. Because this is a new program with MDOT, there's some more surveying of individual participants and trying to get some information on how useful and helpful the program has been for the region. And then the vans that are in the program are approved, are brought in through the operators that we have a contract with between the operator and Commuter Connections. So that's the new program. There's a lot of similarity. I thought it'd just be great to just kind of recap briefly our DC area Vanpool pool rewards Vanpool incentive. There's some differences. The monthly incentive is $200, but it's still also good for the length of the lease. We do hope to see an increase in that, but it is $200 for now. And so that's this for newly forming vans going commuting in the DC region, newly forming within 30 days, and again commuting at least 2 days a week. The vans have an origin in Maryland, West Virginia, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, or DC, and a destination in DC or the Maryland counties that are kind of surrounding the DC border. So it'd be Frederick County, Montgomery, Prince George's, Charles, or Calvert. Similarly, the van should be meeting the monthly occupancy and reporting requirements, and those vans also enroll through an operator that has a contract with us here at Commuter Connections. So it's just a quick little side-by-side chart. I thought if Ben shares the slides afterwards, you have a quick view comparison of there's a lot of similarity between the programs. Main differences are the origin and destinations, the incentive amount, But just some additional things, with both programs, we can help list van pools on the Commuter Connections ride matching site, making sure that they're available when individual commuters are looking for potential ride match options to include van pools, and participants, individual commuters can take advantage of the free Guaranteed Ride Home program, which also covers the Baltimore region. So if any of you have vans that would fit into the new Baltimore program, we do also administer Guaranteed Ride Home for the Baltimore region, and those participants could enroll in that program too. So I wanted to also just touch a little bit about on our RFQ process for van pool providers. So, we accept vans in the program that come into the program through providers that we have a contract with. We are starting a new process where we are just issuing an RFQ. We will likely reissue that RFQ likely twice a year. So likely in the fall and the spring. We have one open right now. It's RFQ number 25-004, and it's open until 4 p.m. on November 6th. So if any of you have vans and you think you might be ready to participate, you can, there's still a little bit of time that you could review those materials and provide a response. If not, then springtime it'll open up again. I apologize that the quality of these screenshots is not that great, but just wanted to share some, sort of the pathway of how you find the RFQs on the Council of Governments website. So if you go to mwcog.org, that's our main organization website, and then click on procurement, which is in the top menu bar, then come down to the menu on the right-hand side and select COG bids/RFPs. Once you get to that page, you'll click on this bonfire portal link that's here. That's where you should see all of the RFQs that are open. Once you get there, this is what the page looks like. You'll see everything that's listed, but ours are generally going to be titled Commuter Connections Van Pool Providers. It'll be something, something similar to the way you see it right now. To learn more about the requirements and the documentation, you can click on the View Opportunity button, and that'll give you everything that you need to read and respond to as part of the submittal. You do need to have a Bonfire account. This is just the procurement software that we use here at COG. So if you are actually ready to take that step at any point in time, you'll just have to create an account. It's free, but that will give you access to the portal to submit all the documentation. Like, you won't email it to us or anything like that. You'll use the Bonfire portal to officially submit your documentation. Just to give you an idea of what to expect next, once we review RFQs and develop a contract, and there's a contract signed between the van pool provider and COG, then we can start, talking through how we can onboard new vans and accept them into the program. We have an online form that whoever is sort of managing your program can submit to let us know that you have a van that you would like to have added into the program. We don't add them immediately. We do review and make sure we have space in the program. We do have budget considerations, and so if we are able to accept the van, then we absolutely will, and if not, then we develop a waitlist system. But once that van is approved, then the van pool provider is responsible for delivering to us every month with an invoice the data that we need to submit for NTD compliance. And the van pool provider is also the point person for making sure that those vans are maintaining a 50% or more AVO. So that's kind of all just to say that we don't communicate directly with the van pool coordinators or the van pool passengers themselves necessarily for any of the stuff. We go through the organization, the point people that we have the contract with. So that's just trying to tell you how that sort of flow of communication works. And so similarly, any change in the subsidy amounts, if they go up or down, or if we need to, put a van on notice because there have been too many months where it hasn't met the occupancy requirements or they haven't been submitting reports, then all of that gets communicated to the Vanpool provider. So that's just how that works. We don't currently have a platform for trip logging, so that would also be another consideration, or cost tracking, or the data that we need for NTD. It would be up to the Vanpool provider to be able to collect that somehow from your vans that are in the program and submit that to us every month with the invoice. So that is my very quick overview of the Commuter Connections Vanpool programs. I'm happy to take any questions if there are any.
I'll go first. I got a few. So insurance, how much do you guys want folks to be carrying? Vanpool Alliance, you need $1 million coverage, which happens to be very good because it works with Advantage quite well. Do you guys have similar requirements for that, or is it different?
If you give me a couple minutes, I will look that up because we
Sure.
did make some updates with that. I believe we're kind of in line with other programs. So give me a couple minutes. I will research that for you and
Sure.
be able to share that back.
My other question would be, off the top of your head, do you have any kind of major employers that qualify for the Baltimore program, like maybe Fort Meade or Aberdeen Proving Grounds or something like that? Kind of helps people get the lay of the land a little bit.
Oh, sure. Yeah, exactly. Those are two great examples. Yeah, Fort Meade, Aberdeen Proving Ground, I would say are some of the biggest ones. Some larger scale manufacturing. I think Tesla is in the program and a few other like manufacturing type employers.
Mhm.
And then there have been a few other like human services kinds of like healthcare types of employers that have been in the program as well. Um, yeah, those are the major ones that come to mind.
Cool. Anyone else have any questions? All right. We can move on to DRPT. I think I saw Chris.
Yep, I'm here.
Hey, Chris.
Hey, thanks, Ben. So, yeah, I just wanted to, this is more of an announcement. I don't have a presentation, but every year, DRPT opens up an application period for grants for all sorts of public transportation things. And one of the grant program is called the Commuter Assistance Program. And that program is really designed to get more people to use transit, carpool, and vanpool. And so I just want to let people know that that application period starts December 1st. It ends February 1st, and there is an upcoming virtual workshop. And hopefully the link, I've dropped the link into the chat. So there is a registration for the workshop. It's November 20th at 10 a.m. So, but the big news is that, in case people aren't aware, Vanpool companies, Vanpool providers can apply directly for the funding. We can do some good things regarding the local match, so you don't have to, come up with extra money that you don't have. We can do a lot of things, with the regular fares or some other things. And so sign up for the webinar. You get more information about it. I'm also going to, I'll share my window here. Go to the DRPT website, and you'll see on our DRPT website. In fact, I'll drop this link in the chat also. It has some more information about the Commuter Assistance Program. It also has what we call the Blue Book, which is the guidance document for how to do applications, a little more detail about the different types of projects that the Commuter Assistance Program will fund, including some details on Vanpool projects. Basically, a Vanpool project just needs to get more people to use vanpooling and increase vanpooling. And let's see if I can do another chat in here. All right, it's giving me some problems there. Let's see. But one of the things you will have to do if you're going to apply is go to the web grants system, which is our online grants management system. You will need to, if you don't have an account already, you will need to create a user account and for your organization if you plan on applying. But if you go to that website for all grant programs or our grant programs, and you go to the web grants online grants management system, you click on that, it has instructions on how to do that. It's very simple. It's got some guidance. You will have to submit a W-9 and then another agreement for using web grants, but they're very simple forms. But certainly I would definitely encourage you to do that if you even think that you want to apply for a grant. So again, the date is November 20th at 10 for the workshop. Please sign up for it. If anyone can't get to the link from here, I'll be happy to send Ben the link and he can send it out to everybody. But anyway, that's all. I just want to announce that and hope some of you join that webinar.
Thanks, Chris. Yeah, if you
Thanks,
get me
Ben.
the links, I'll for sure send that out with the slide deck and stuff afterwards, and people can take you up on that.
Okay. Thanks.
All right. All right. So we actually just did our fiscal year submission to the Federal Transit Administration today. So these are our latest and greatest numbers. So last year, you guys moved 705,259 passenger trips. That was up 15%. Likewise, the revenue miles, 7.3 million, was also up 50%. So you guys move a lot of people and take a lot of single occupied vehicles off the road, which is great. The program provided 1.2 million in payment to everyone for the services they do for the Commonwealth, and providing us that data. And we continue to be financially healthy, and hopefully there'll be more payments to come. There's a reduction of 27 million miles, which is kind of hard to. I tried to look into some calculators about like how the scale of that. It's silly. It's too big of a number to really scale, but it's many times around the earth. And our average occupancy held steady at about 4.8. I think that kind of shows that once we get to that 5 number, typically we get them into a new van. So yeah, the program saw quite a shot in the arm, probably around March with the federal return to work. So we only had 3 months of those numbers kind of put into our fiscal year because it ends in June. So if the federal government ever opens up again, we will probably see a continued kind of bump from next year in our revenue miles and our passenger trips. So that's really good. Speaking of the shutdown, federal commuter benefit is of note to you guys, and so we talked to WMATA and some of the folks at USDOT with the TransServe cards, and there's no large sweeping on-off switch, right? So it's down to the individual agency, or even the department and their funding status. So November allotments is something you guys can probably see in Smart Benefits if that's what you're using. It's likely to be smaller than what's currently showing. You kind of won't see what it shakes out to until after the first of the month. There's a lot of people still going into work who aren't getting paid. There's some people getting paid not going into work, so it seems to be all over the place. but we figured that's kind of the broad brushstrokes information that we know about, and it's probably of interest to you. Probably a good time to take a pause and ask if anyone has any. If you guys still have quite a lot of van pools on the road, have you seen a drop in your ridership? Like, how is the shutdown kind of affecting you guys as this lumbers on?
Hello, everyone. Hi, this is Sharon Arrington from Cool Runnings LLC.
Mhm.
The shutdown, basically, I am down to one van with total consistently going into work is one contractor and one person that works at is basically a social worker. So, and another person, three people that I would consider, they're basically outside of federal government. And one guy works with a nonprofit. So from 4 vans that were full to one van with 3 people, and then I have the IRS guy. I had a guy that worked for the IRS, and he just suddenly got furloughed. So then he going in one day. So the van may have 5 people. So and thanks for that information, because for forecast, what I see, I am looking for definitely less than what is shown, since no one is going in. All my federal workers are not going in. So it's really gonna cause a hurt on business and everything. That's all I have.
And Ben, this is John Lavarian with Patriotic. I can echo some similar numbers. It varies by location. Some of our vans are all essential employees and they're all going in. Some of our vans have a mix of essential and non-essential. So we'll have anywhere from half to a little more than half going in. And some of our vans, it's the opposite, where the command itself is pretty much shut down with one person out of 7 going in. And that becomes the big question mark for how do we handle November. If there really is only one person using the vehicle, well, that's not really economical, right, at that point. And so those are some of the questions I've been having is like we all have. It's a very chaotic environment. Is any kind of clarity as far as guidance? And I got from your brief that there just really isn't a lot, and it's by organization. So you just have to dig into each group. So that's what we've been doing.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing, from our program's perspective is, continue to do your reports and we will continue to make payment. So please do that. Anyone else have anything to add, or are we all kind of in the same boat here?
Yeah, it's Tracy Bell. I'm pretty much in the same boat. I see that I have some essential employees that are still going in, and those employees are not getting their SMART benefits, and some are paying out of their pocket just to keep the van running. But as far as the funding, it's not coming from the SMART benefits, and even though they're going into work. But I want to go back to that slide you mentioned, Ben, about the 4.8 riders. I'm like, and I was sitting here, I've been doing this for almost 18 years. I'm like, wow. We had the 15 passengers when we had 10 and 12 riders. Those were the good days. And these are the days we're in now, 4.8. I was like, wow. It makes you wonder if you really want to stay in this business, if it continues to go low. And those 4.8 riders are mainly due to my smaller vans. We don't have 15 passengers anymore. Everybody wants the Dodge and the Caravan and the Toyotas and all that. But yeah, it's a business where you wonder if it's still beneficial, but it is, because people need to ride to work. But until it's like the pandemic all over again. Yeah, I'm sure everybody's feeling it on the call. So just hang in there. Maverick, just hang in there and see what happens.
Tracy, this is Joe.
Hi.
I'm sorry for the situation that you all find yourselves in, and we're all bus, van, pool, train alike, all in a similar situation. But, regarding your comments about van occupancy, I think that was kind of an unintended consequence of the federal transit benefit massively increasing. For those of you that have been in this business for a while, right? I forget exactly what year it was, maybe 2009, 2010, something like that. The federal benefit went from $120 to $230 overnight, right? And suddenly people didn't need 15 passenger vans to fill them in order to be able to commute for free, right? And so that then overnight created hang on, if I have 4 or 5 people, I can just jam them into a minivan and suddenly we can commute for free. And so it's just been off to the races since then, right? And the bigger vans have been less and less popular because the transit benefit has been high enough to allow the small vehicles to be free. So yeah, it's a shame.
Yep. Yep.
Also,
Another thing too that yep, definitely, Joe. You're right. And
just
what
just
happens is that what the what I'm finding out too is that once they go to a minivan, oh my goodness, they're spoiled. They don't want a 15 passenger.
yes.
It drives like a truck.
No, but this is Sharon again, and I was a commuter before an owner, and yes, I have never I do not passengers do not like the 15 passenger vans because they don't drive the same. A minivan is easier to handle and gas, so you got it. It's economic as well as comfort, because so that's just the way of the game now. People, minivan, anyone can drive it, but the 15 passenger van, some people don't want to drive it because it kind of handles like a truck and then it takes too much gas. So economically, I don't have no 15 passenger van. I would not get them because that's just with gas prices and everything. No. So there's a bunch of different stuff that, as you're saying, Tracy, that you have to look on to see, it is definitely worthwhile, but will I be able to sustain this business model as a commuter van pool? So, I kind of have to branch out, of course, because it's my business. So the contracts for doing something, still transporting people, but doing contracts, trying to find contracts to do. So that's just my 2 cents.
Thank you for that. All right, moving on. Personal property tax relief. This is something that comes up quite often. It is something that Prince William County has for vans that overnight in Prince William County. And so we're going to be reaching out to vendors, both big, small, and everywhere in between, to kind of see and get a feel for where your van's overnight and what your tax burden is like. This is going to be a fairly long process where we need to answer some policy questions. We also need to identify funding sources and stuff. But kind of the first step to something like this is, what are the numbers? What's the burden here? And so with that, Janae and myself will be kind of canvassing you guys as we go forward with this process, just to kind of get an idea of the scope of the issue, because most of your vans overnight in Stafford and Spotsy and stuff. And so, the consistent feedback we get is, why can't they do this like Prince William County? And generally speaking, I think it's just because Spotsylvania and them, they don't have a number. They don't understand like what that would look like and stuff like that. So at least for a jumping off point, this will get us some information to see where we're at. And we can go from there. So I just wanted to say, if you get questions from Janae or myself asking for this stuff, this is why. We're gonna give this a good look and kick the tires and see what we can do with it. But with that, if you guys have any questions, concerns, just in general, we usually open it up to you guys at the end. So please, if you have any questions, jump in. Otherwise, we can stand in adjournment, and you guys have a good night.
And we can look forward to getting the slides, right?
For sure. We'll send
Thank
out
you.
the slides, the recording,
Yeah.
folks' contact information and stuff. So all that'll be there.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Thank you everyone for coming and sharing what you guys have, and we will talk soon.
Have a good night.
Thank you.
Guys.
Thank you
Have a
guys. I
good night.
appreciate
Thanks,
your help.
everyone. Good night.
Good night.